Okay, so this is gonna have to be part two. And Danity, no, that's not Danity Kane. That's Dawn from Danity Kane. But anyway, so basically, so I had a vision. I went to sleep and I had a vision because they had set up this court date to take my son from me while I was in the jail. So these white women had, I told you, they had this biracial black officer named D try to falsify the police report, and then they put me in this cell, and they was trying to murder me, and then successfully do that, and then they knew they would have to drop the charges. They tried to intimidate me and keep me back there and force me to plead guilty after God said I was not guilty and that I was gonna be released. God said that He would save me out of the cell, and so Jesus Christ, help me, Father God. So while I was back there with them doing this, I was having these visions at the same time, and the women in the courts was trying to figure out how can we kill this black woman that shot a gun in America and that shot a white man. How can we kill this young woman? And so they went on ahead and was like, sued me for my son, and God said that was illegal. I was on trial. I was on trial for protecting me and my son from his father, his Caucasian father, and they kept resetting the court date even though they had the evidence and falsified a police report and tried to murder me and cover up the evidence. They had me back there, keeping me back there, trying to do stuff to me and my baby, and then set up a court date to bring me into a family courtroom that didn't have anything to do with my charges because they didn't want to even really talk about the evidence to my case. They were trying to kill me. They was not trying to take me to trial. They was not trying to look at the evidence. They already had it. They was trying to bury the evidence and me and the baby. And then so I was still in the cell knowing that they was faking all these resets just so they could continue to try to murder me in the cell. And Father God, please help me, Lord Jesus. Jehovah, please help me. Tell Jesus, please, God, please. The white women set up to have me sued. So God said, tell who sued me. So a white man came up to the jail and delivered some papers to me that was poisoning me in the cell when he delivered the papers to me. And they told me I had to, that they were suing me, Austin Metter, that my baby daddy who was attacking me, and the boy was suing me for my son. And white women in the courts, the judge, the KKK put them up to it because they knew this black woman is really not guilty. He was hurting her and her boy, but what can we do evil to this woman? What can we do to keep control over this baby boy who she was protecting? And so to try to get back at me and have the boy as, basically a sacrifice. Y'all see what they doing to these children, letting them be gay and, tearing them from their mama and making them racist, just evil shit. And I don't know if he's alive. I haven't seen my baby boy after the Ku Klux Klan gave my baby permanently to Cynthia. I haven't seen him from the scene of the shooting. And let me just stay on subject, Father God, please, because they was threatening in the spirit. They was coming in the spirit, and they was saying these white people and these devils with Cynthia and Joseph O'Vera was coming in the spirit, saying that they would hurt the boy as retaliation for their son being shot, and that them having that custody of him give them the power to do anything. And I had him since he was 22 months old. Since that's when I went to jail. And so they done had these women send court papers to me to sue me in court. And God said, do not be afraid of these people. They are bread for us. When you open your mouth, I will speak. And my lawyer, Ingrid Chandler, who was supposed to represent me on the criminal trial, she did not show up to the family court where they had sued me for my son. So it didn't have nothing to do with my trial. It was illegal. They knew the evidence to my case. They just knew nobody's representing her, so we could pretty much do whatever we want to do to this black woman. She don't have no family that care about her. She don't got no friends that care about her. So we just gonna do whatever to her and this baby. And so my lawyer, she didn't show up to my criminal court date when the investigator, Jim McDougal, actually went to the restaurant where the shooting happened and started interviewing the man that was involved with the struggle, who was helping me and my baby while my baby daddy was attacking us. And he said he was not afraid of being shot, that he was trying to help the baby and me, and that I was defending myself. And I didn't know this man. This man worked at the restaurant, and I just went in there telling him that my baby daddy was hurting us outside, and I needed him to call 911. He called 911, and 911 had already been called by a civilian in the street who I flagged down screaming to help us while he was trying to drag me down in the street with the baby in my hands. And so, with my son in my hands after he just got out of prison for assault. And so, it don't sound the same when you say it like a white man got out for assault, the way they do when it's a black man who in trouble for something. And so they sued me for my baby while I was in there fighting these charges. And I went into that courtroom and I represented myself. So my lawyer didn't show up to my criminal court case, my criminal court date when the evidence was found. She kept they had the evidence, but they was hiding it and then telling the investigator some lies and bullshit. And his name is Jim McDougal, and he went and interviewed me. He went and found out the truth about what happened, but my lawyer was showing up every other court day and then asking for a reset, and they're saying she didn't have the evidence, but she did. And then when she reset me, they planned to bring me back into the jail where all of these white women, including my lawyer, I believe, was setting it up for me to be poisoned or pregnant in the cell. So I was like, I knew I couldn't trust her, and God told me that she was going to try to get me to sign no contest and leave me, and that they would take me to prison if I signed no contest, because I would be waiving my rights to a fair trial, to where they would not have to tell what my baby daddy was actually doing to me, because I waived the right, and God was showing me that would allow my baby daddy to lie and tell the police anything that happened. And then God showed me what he said he would say, that he would try to make it seem like he was working and I was a nag and that I was bullying him, and that he would lie. And God was showing that I would be taken to prison and that I would be pregnant, trying to find extra food in prison, and that I would have to make some girl my bitch in prison, and to plead not guilty. But he said, don't trust your lawyer, because she's going to try to get you to sign no contest, and I'm going to show you exactly what she's going to do, and I'm going to tell you exactly what she's going to say. He was like, she going to tell you to plead no contest with the investigator, because the investigator going to have the information about your case that they tried to cover up. But he's not going to want to come forward with the information about your case. And he's going to try to be scared with your lawyer and try to get you to sign away your rights, so they don't have to tell the truth about what your white baby daddy was doing to you and your baby. And he said, and your lawyer is going to tell you that if you sign no contest, he showed me her face, an investigator, and a piece of paper, and God said no contendo. And I said, I would ask him, God, what do no contendo mean? And before I could ask him, he read my heart, and he said, no contendo. Let me show you what she's going to do if you plead no contendo. And he showed her telling me, oh, it means that I can come get you out tomorrow. I'll come get you tomorrow. That's what she was saying, white woman. And then God was like, now let me show you what's really going to happen to you if you was to plead no contendo, and let her tell you she going to come out and get you tomorrow. He showed me I was skinny with my clothes falling off my bones, with my ponytail was natural, big, huge ponytail on top of my head. And he showed the guard leading me back into that cell and closing the door and led me back there like a sheep to the slaughter. And that's how I was looking like a little sheep to the slaughter. And then God was like, God showed me, like, let me show you what you're going to be waiting like in that cell for her to come and get you. And he showed me waiting, looking outside the cell, like, oh, my lawyer is coming, all excited. Because I had been back there being starved and tortured and lied on. So he was showing me, he was like, you're going to be looking outside that door. And he showed me looking outside the cell, like, oh, my lawyer's coming, my lawyer's coming. And then he was like, let me show you who really going to come. And then he showed me all these officers showing up to my cell with chains on, trying to wrap chains around my belly, and the officers would say to me, "Oh, we escorting you to prison." And then I'll be like, "Hold on, but my lawyer said she was coming to get me." And God was like, "Nah." He was like, "Let me show you what the trap is, what the trick is." About her trying to get you to sign no contendo. And then he was like, he said, the officer he showed me what the officer said to me, and the officer said to me, your baby daddy told us what you did to him. And then, like, the officers were gonna try to lie, knowing that they know the evidence, knowing that they falsified the evidence. They was all working with the women in the court and with my own lawyer in his vision. And he was like, they're gonna say, oh, your baby daddy told us what you did to him. Come on, you going to prison. And then I would have been done waived my right. So that means that my baby daddy could say I did whatever this to him, be lying about it. And then God was like showing me like, oh, and then God was showing me like, and then you was gonna be pregnant in the prison, and they were gonna send you like that, skinny and pregnant, starving to a prison, and she was not guilty for protecting herself. And then he had showed me what my baby daddy was gonna say, and God showed me, he was like, yo, baby daddy trying to make it seem like you this big burly fat black woman that wake up punching him in the face in the morning. And God was showing me how wicked my baby daddy was trying to portray me. And then he showed me, he was like, they finna try to come up with all kind of stories. He was like, next they finna have you outside, they know you pretty. And then he was like, they finna have you outside with all your clothes. No, he said they finna have you outside and have you dressed up like a hooker, because when you pretty and you outside, he was just showing me, he was like, next they gonna try to paint you out like a prostitute. He was like, they gonna try to get the witness to change his statement and try to give you at least 10 years. God was showing me everything to help me win my case. So when I went into this family courtroom, my lawyer, she didn't show up for my criminal court case. Like, they was over there trying to get the witness to change his statement at the restaurant about what happened. They tried to get his wife to come in and make up a story about something, and she was not there on the day of the shooting. And the wife was trying to get her husband not to tell the truth about what really happened with me and my son in the restaurant. Trying to claim that I endanger other children when no other children was even back there. Everybody ran when my baby daddy started attacking me, and it was just me and the man and my baby daddy involved in the struggle. And so this white lady was dressed in red, like she had red hair like the devil, and she showed up instead of my lawyer on the day that my investigator had went to the restaurant and interviewed the people at the restaurant. He interviewed the man at the restaurant who was involved in the struggle, because the police had tried to take they took reports from people that was not involved in the struggle and people that had ran out of the restaurant when I first shot the gun off. And there was not nowhere in there was nowhere in the back of the restaurant where it was taking place. But they was trying to make a reason to make it seem like my baby daddy wasn't attacking me. And then so they sealed up the real witness statement. And I asked the police officers on the scene to get the real witness statement who was involved in the struggle. And at first they said they wasn't arresting me because what the witness was saying was matching up with what I said. But then they arrested me and then falsified the police report anyway and completely omitted the witness statement, everything, and sealed it up, and then tried to murder me and lie about it. And had already lied about it on the news, and then sued me for my baby and was still trying to kill me after they sued me for my baby. They was still in there trying to kill me and was going to try to say she killed herself because we sued her for her baby. And so, but then he lied about the fact that I was being attacked and I was being wrongfully incarcerated. And I'm saying off of what God said, because see, black people have not been taught that you have no reason to protect yourself in this country. So as a woman who had a small child and was with child, you know what I'm saying, they are showing their extreme racism by even trying to convict me. And God was like, they shouldn't even never even arrested her. And that's why it was so important to take the boy from me. And that's why it was so important to lie about my pregnancy, my medical records and things like that. Because then how you gonna portray this woman out to be guilty? How you gonna portray her out to be like she deserved what y'all did or what y'all was trying to do. They was trying to give me 100 years for protecting me and my son, 99 years. That's what they were trying to go for. And you know, now, and God already showed me, like, that's the only reason why they lied on your medical records. That's the only reason why they took that boy, because they need to try to portray a black woman that was being attacked, that was pregnant with her child, as a prostitute, drug addicted whore, because they don't know how to say sorry. And I told y'all why, because they are devils. They attack, they kill, steal, and destroy, and that's all that they know how to do, and lie. And the devil is a liar. And who's the biggest liar of them all? Them motherfuckers. And so, I won the family court case. I ended up winning. I told my lawyer, I said, they suing me for my son. And she wasn't really representing me on my criminal case. God said I represented myself on my criminal case and I won. And God said that I represented myself in the family court for my son and I won that, but I was still incarcerated. And Judge Trace Gilbert claimed that he couldn't give my baby to me because I was still incarcerated, but to come to him and bring the evidence when I got out. So when I got out, he was like, oh, that's you. Like he expected them to kill me or something and didn't expect for me to make it out. But God had said I was going to make it out. So I told that judge when he gave Austin temporary custody of my son before Austin beat up another woman in front of my son while I was incarcerated in Cynthia O'Vera's home, that he should not give my child nowhere near to this man, that my child should not be nowhere around his father, versus you giving him my child. And he over here attacking us. And the only reason why I'm even up in the fucking cell going through the bullshit was because he was attacking us. And you gonna give my baby to him and then try to make it seem like you got good judgment. I want him removed off of his bench. I want him removed. Because he got some nerve trying to talk about giving my child to anybody when he didn't know his own son. Judge Tracy Gilbert, look up him. Tracy A. Gilbert, look him up. And you gonna see he's white. And his baby mama sued him for $300,000 because he had a son with her that he did not take care of for his entire life. He didn't give that boy no money. He didn't do nothing for that boy. And him and his baby mama got this little story claiming that he didn't know about the boy, whatever. That boy looked just like Tracy. And then there was a $300,000 deficit from the budget from the city. And he was right there at the city meeting with all the rest of the judges and with everybody else trying to figure out what happened to that damn $300,000. And I'm sitting over here like, okay, let me do my research. I'm not trying to say, well, it is like I'm implying that money could have possibly went to his boy. I don't know if he had $300,000 to just pull out. I don't know if he done paid it off. I don't know his personal business, but I do know you got some nerve not taking care of your own son his entire life and then turning around and trying to give somebody else's son away because my baby daddy was attacking me and my baby. He knew that them criminal charges, that don't got nothing to do with family court. You can't bring no criminal case up into family court. And then try to make it seem like the mother should not have been protecting herself. And I'm gonna tell you another thing about CPS, because they tried to bring in CPS and tried to make them lie and make it seem like I had been convicted right before they did this court hearing, and I won. So when you dealing with Satanists and devils, they got the whole court system tied up. You know, that's why a lot of people just be like, let's just take it to the street, fuck it, if I live or die, whatever, it don't matter. That's when you fight for something. When you know that these people is rigging stuff and you've been doing it. They was torturing me long before the shooting. That's what caused the shooting, all the torture, and then turn around and torture me more, and then think you're gonna keep torturing me and holding my baby, and then feel like, oh, I'm gonna shut up and just let it go. I'm not letting it go, because God didn't let it go when y'all thought y'all was gonna do that shit to me back there. And then you got my son. I don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all can go on with your motherfucking life. You do what the fuck you want to do, but you're gonna give me back my son. And God said that the police, that the white men in Conroe, Texas, felt like that they didn't have to pay for my apartment, and they didn't have to pay for all the things that they stole out of me and my son home. And God said, oh no, there will be repercussions. And that's what God said. And he was fighting them. He was punching them in the face. He was knocking them out. He was beating up 10 of them at a time. It was lit. And I got to see it all. That's why I be so turned up now. That's why I don't care. It's been a divine separation. And in the Most High, you know what I'm saying, he's in control of the verdict. And I made a video saying God decides the verdict, because they wanted to say that I was guilty. But God was up in there while he was attacking me and attacking my boy, you know what I'm saying, and running me out of my home. God was with me. And I remember when I ran out the home with my baby, I knew something about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I already had the gun in my purse. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to use it. But he kept on coming after us. And I still kept going and running from him. And I went into the restaurant to get the help, and he came there attacking us. And when he just had my boy, slinging my boy around all crazy and willy-nilly violent, and with my baby boy, who you think I'm gonna choose? A grown ass, meth addicted, heroin addict, or my little boy? I don't have to make a choice, because my sister Larissa Jones, her little boy was in the fucking hospital at 3 months old, and both her and her baby daddy got charged with child abuse. I don't have to play games about my children, and I don't have to explain to nobody about my children. But to take my son to where I don't know if he's safe, and my son with my enemies, I'm not gonna back down. And they done stole everything and put us in a position to where they got Cynthia O'Vera and all the other people set up to make it look like, oh, they got money, they can take care of the boy. Name one time that he didn't eat with me. Name one time he didn't have clothes with me. Name one time he didn't have a roof over his head with me. Name one time that my son was hurt with me. Name one time he got sick with me. Name one time he didn't make a doctor's appointment. Name one time he missed a meal. Name one time he had a diaper rash. Name one time that he didn't take a bath. Name one time that he didn't say mama every time he woke up. Please. Because you stealing people kids. You abducting people kids. And they know that shit, and they know it was for a coven. And that's why they had to have my family like, oh, make her leave, put her out. You know what I'm saying? Because my family, I already told her, they was in there trying to put some bullshit on me. And that's what they know. I had a stable place. They know me and my son, I lived there for 3 years in that apartment. That make my case even worse, because I lived there for 3 years. And I lived somewhere else by myself for 2 years. Then I lived by myself somewhere else for 6 months, and I was married prior to that. So for you to be trying to have people staging shit, knowing my medical records and the condition that I had medically, and then have people staging stuff from place to place to place to try to help y'all cover up the bullshit. Because you shouldn't have took my boy, and the reason why they took my boy is for a coven. It's because Cynthia is a witch and Joseph is a damn whatever they call them devils. And they need that child. And it ain't about, oh, she want to provide him a good home. It ain't about, oh, she just want him to go to school. It ain't about none of that. My baby daddy was 14 years old with some white woman sticking needles in his arm and molesting him in Cynthia O'Vera's neighborhood. And she let him bring a woman into her home and beat the woman up in front of my son while they was back there trying to kill me and cover up what he had did to me. So, for black people to still sit back and think you was gonna point the finger at me and think that I'm not finna go off, God was like, God had showed me a bunch of dreadhead black people that had dreads, and they was over there trying to take up for the white people in the vision, and they was like, you scaring these white people? How you going off on these white people? And God, I guess was like picked up a sock, like put a sock in it, like we don't want to hear what y'all talking about. And God would like go out there and explain to them and tell them that the reason why you going off on these white people the way you is because you letting them know that you're not playing with them and that you mean business about your child and about what they did to you. God was like, you going out there, you going off on them white folk. He said, because you gonna let them know that you not playing, that you gonna let them know you're not playing with them. And so I went out to talk to the black men who had the dreads and everything, and they was listening. I had to explain to them, because I guess it's different when you have dreads versus when you have an afro. You know what I'm saying? Like if you actually have your hair out and it's not dreaded, people do accept it differently than the way they accept dreadlocks. You see white people wearing dreadlocks, trying to get dreadlocks, but when you have God was like, tell them the truth. And so I told him, and I was like, I stood in front of all of the black people with the dreads, and I was like, it was black women, black men with dreads and stuff like that. And I guess they felt like they could relate to what it felt like to be a black person in America. But it's like they didn't understand fully. And God needed me to let them understand. And I told them what God told me. I said, my brown skin and my curly hair have gotten me in a lot of trouble. And then the black man looked at me, with the dreads, and I don't know, it was like something in our spirit just connected, and then he started nodding, like, I understand, like, because they was just showing you going off about stuff and, showing you angry, and white people just trying to make it seem like you was a nuisance to them, because you was yelling and angry and going off on them. And then, it was like when I had let him know, like, they been doing stuff to me because of my skin and my hair, like, and making me get in trouble for it. And I'm angry about that. So that's why I'm going off, because they have been messing with me all over the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? And even my baby daddy was messing with me about my hair and my skin. And that's large part of the reason why he was abusing me the way that he was. So like I ended up winning the case for my son, like I said, and they just staged like a whole bunch of shit. So the vision that I had about courting, I ended up, because y'all, it's all over the place, because that's how many of them, come running out the woodworks, you know what I'm saying, when they hear about something in the streets, and then people try to take sides and stuff. That people should have just stayed the fuck out of my business. And now everybody want to act like they don't know me. They don't want to act like they don't know nothing about my case. They don't act like they don't know nothing, but people came running out the woodworks in the spirit to try to take the sides of these devils. And I was wondering why. And then God revealed the truth to me, because of they sold, because of that 666. They don't give a fuck. They gonna do anything for them white folk, period. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a vision of Offset around the time that they was suing me for my son. And I was back there only being given one tray, and I was pregnant, and they was poisoning the one tray that they was giving me, and they was poisoning the commissary, opening the commissary, doing stuff to it, and it would have an immediate effect on my body if I ate it, so I couldn't eat it. And so I ended up losing 50 pounds in the cell. But before while I was pregnant, you're supposed to gain weight. And then so oh Jesus Christ, help me, Father God. So there was a court date coming up where they had been taking me through several different court dates to sue me for my son, and they kept losing and kept resetting stuff to try to stage stuff and falsify documents, because the investigator had already he came to me and said it was the fault of the Colorado police after he found out the truth from the witness about what was going on, and that they had been lying about it. And then he said it wouldn't have to go to trial. And the investigator that came in the spirit and told me that they were going to try to cut my body up and the baby and leave us somewhere for some unknown detective to find me. So they wouldn't know that it was Andrea Jones, and that they wouldn't know that it was my baby, that we would just be found by some random person where I would not have an identity, pretty much. And everybody who I'm mentioning about these visions and all that, they all knew what the plot was. They knew what these people was planning to do to me for protecting myself and my son. So that's why I don't have a problem going off on a priest that's worth $300 million. I don't have a problem going off on you, because your ass was going to sit there and let these motherfuckers find me and my baby cut up somewhere, and fucking was. And you was going to let them threaten to molest my baby and hurt my baby for protecting me, my baby, and then think you going to sit up there and perform in front of them devils and talk about some Black Lives Matter? I will tear your shit down in the spirit with my bare hands. You can keep the wealth. So, then they have people just doing stuff to me. So anyway, they was taking me to this court date, and I had a vision of Offset, Cardi B's husband. And I had several visions of the Migos while I was in the jail, first of all, and of Quavo, and these witches was trying to curse me to smoke cigarettes when I got out, and they was trying to blame the fact that I was bleeding and try to say, oh, she smoked cigarettes. Now, I had missed my period when my baby daddy had got out of the jail, and I had started bleeding, and my baby daddy had been attacking me in the house, and I'll fall asleep and he'll get on top of me and make me have sex with him. And God had came and was like, nah, she bleeding because he was raping her while she was pregnant. And then so I had a vision of just Quavo, Takeoff, Offset, everybody just pretty much coming and talking to me in the spirit for the devil, pretty much knowing that I was innocent, but just kind of pretty much knowing how they operate. Like, they've been serving them for so long that I guess they don't really have that morality in them to really say that this man should not have been attacking this woman who was with child and with her little baby. He shouldn't have been doing it, period. So God said to tell him that's how his leg got hurt. His leg got hurt when I ran screaming with my baby in the streets screaming for the police. That's how his leg got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have people, and then they got it like I'm just talking about them, like I just give a fuck about them. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of these motherfucking folk like that. If you fuck with me, I like your music, that's cool. If we gonna go to the studio, cool. If not, okay then, shit, fuck me too, fuck you too. I don't mean to say it like that, but if you fuck with me, I fuck with you. If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter how much I don't got. If you fuck with me, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So I had a vision of Offset, and he had came to me in the jail, and this was right before the court date where they was keep having me going back trying to sue me for my son and still losing, trying to rig it to just keep trying to get this witch my baby. And so she was mad because her son got hurt and she wanted my baby. So let me just go into detail about Offset or whatever, because y'all know that's Cardi B's husband. But he came to me in the spirit, and I'm not finna sit back and just let everybody be running around and living their life acting like they didn't know about my case just because everything with them is scripted. You know what I'm saying? And y'all see everything on my shit is real. Ain't nothing fucking scripted about an eyelash falling off your motherfucking face from crying and going off on motherfuckers looking a hot ass mess. Like, these bitches gotta go, Lord forgive me, but these women gotta go and put piles of fucking makeup on their face. They not gonna show you their flaws. They won't even show you their real booty. They won't even show you their real titties. You know what I'm saying? So I keep it real. Y'all see my flaws. Y'all see my body. Y'all see what I'm really like. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all the when I'm sad, when I'm happy, when I'm mad, when I'm angry. It's nothing scripted about it. So her husband was in the spirit, came to me in the spirit while I was asleep before one of these court dates. And her husband, he said he was there was a mansion, and